from Trade to Prosper. Today is Wednesday, 29th of November. I'm going to do a quick update on Solana and what's holding us up. Here on the left, we have our monthly chart, and on the right, we have our weekly. You can see with the Fibonacci, it's exactly on the golden ratio of 618. So if one was to look for a trade, this area is a bad area to trade in, but we'll get in closer and have a look. But understand that is a likely chance that we'll find resistance, along with it's in line with Bitcoin. So Bitcoin is closely to a resistance as well. So it really depends on what that does as well. Okay, so when we look at this, and let's just move this across. That's the main reason it's finding resistance. Now what we can see that is 200, I think it's a weekly, weekly, 200 weekly moving averages, SMA and EMA, macro trend. And what we did was we found you can put a straight line if you want, as some people do, and say, all right, that's the trend, resistance, and once you break that, it's changing momentum. So once we broke above the 200 moving average, like here, and if you look at this, it was a good trade. That was a good entry. And then because it went past the 200, it actually pulled back below it and found this Fibonacci as support on the weekly. And then what you see is it breaks the 200 again. So we see it knocking on the door. And then it used as support and up it went. So here we can see on the weekly candlesticks, that is buying the dip. Now let's look on the daily, and we can see that my other moving averages come into play. Let's just get a 10 and 20 moving average that I use for finding a trend on a small time frame. So this is on the daily. We're still in the daily trend. However, you can see that we're having a stronger resistance here. So what we see here is what could potentially be a reaccumulation or a topping off structure. And if we go into smaller time frames, probably a bit better. That is nasty. So that is our buying climax, and it hasn't done anything since. So this looks like not a distribution, but more of a continuation pattern. When to enter this trade? Well, what we're looking for is a breakout of this level. Might find resistance, and it could go sideways or it goes above, and then finds out support, and then continues on. And what we might see is another level, and obviously that level is important. I think it's going to go sideways for a while. If it breaks up and it's still going to use this as a resistance, I might as well just tweak this a bit and bring it down. That is what I'm looking for, a reaccumulation. That is a base. Unfortunately, it's not a good formation that we can trade. So we might just go back to the daily. I'm looking for an entry to go along. That could have been it. You can see that is a level as well. And so we're in a range, definitely in a range. And chances are that if we go above, we get that liquidity and then potentially come back down again. And we play that game. And then as long as we get higher lows, eventually we might find a long-term formation to the breakup or further down. So that's what I'm thinking at the moment. Solana is looking bullish. 68, 69 is the main resistance. And if we look at it from here, was it likely to do? Consolidate. Now, if it was to go bearish, I'd be looking for this level for support on the monthly to go further up. So looking at $40 as a major support. So if this was a pullback to the $40 range, actually that one there is here. Okay, $45 range. That is aligned with the 0.5 fib with the monthly as well. So I will look for that as a good entry. Now Bitcoin might pull back, and if we get a Bitcoin chart, if Bitcoin is also at a key resistance, by the way, we're looking for this type of move. If it comes down, takes out the liquidity, and then hopefully it goes up. So we're looking for a level of liquidity and then up. If this was to take place, I'll be entering that. That might align with Solana in the same way. That might just drop and then take out this liquidity and maybe even touch the monthly and then back up again. And that might just continue on with strength. So I'm looking at from that perspective. Still bullish, still looking for more highs. However, from a Bitcoin perspective, and you will look at this chart just to give you a quick glimpse. Here's the dilemma, what we have. Not that one, okay, I'll leave that. You can see our Fibonacci. Our Fibonacci is the golden ratio at 618. Also along with the volume profile. So we are at a strong support resistance level. Do we have any more? Here's a non-log level. And do we have any others? So if we get rid of these two, you can see from the top is one, bottom, in this sense, using the wicks, we have slight higher value for Bitcoin. And if we look at the price, look up close, 39,141. Here is 38,844. And when we look up close, we didn't quite hit it yet. So I'm looking for this price to hit that and potentially come down. And that might be a strong resistance. And then we might just start coming down further or continue back up. It's a hard one. We've got liquidity there, liquidity levels. Here's where all the longs are coming. The longs are coming. You can see this arc. We might just get a long squeeze with this before we go back up again. So that's my thoughts for now. I'm going to leave that at that. Please give me a like and share. Talk to you soon. Cheers.